Hello everyone, I'm Sanjot Pethe and I wanted to speak to you in the last video in this series about kindness and non-violence in the context of health. And this video, although this video is as applicable to physical health, it is more applicable to mental health. Kindness is very basic for healing. The reason being that already because of our illness or whatever is happening to us, whether physically or mentally, our nervous system is in a defense mode. It is already preparing to do things or is already doing things to protect us for our survival. And in that, if we are not kind or if we do not take care of ourselves, then we are adding one more layer of defense to the nervous system, and therefore we are losing out a little more in healing. And it becomes easier to be kind to ourselves and others to be kind to us when we are physically ill. It is slightly tougher in mental illness because many a times, unless the mental illness is severe, we don't realize the impact it must be having on that person or even on us. And we sometimes wonder whether it is our mind playing games or is it really a serious problem. So how do we know that mind is not playing games or something is not kind, something is not non-violent or something is violent? For that we need to look at two words. One is called observation and other is called judgment. And though many people consider observation versus judgment, I would like to talk about it in terms of observation and judgment. So, what is an observation? Yeah. So, let me give an example in context of mental illness. So, there is somebody who is constantly sad. Whenever you meet that person is all the time sad. Right? Your observation is, hey, I met you 4 times and all 4 times you're sad. Or hey, every time I meet you, I find you very sad. That's an observation. When you say, hey, you're all the time very sad, what's wrong? Everything seems to be working so well in your life. Why are you sad? You shouldn't be sad. You should be happy. You should always be joyful. Why do you have such a serious demeanor? You should always smile. All this are judgments. Now, judgments are required in life. Many times they are required in life. For example, if consistently for 4, 5, 6 days I am feeling sluggish, I'm not enthusiastic, I'm not moving, I'm not quickly getting my task done, and there is no real reason. I don't have fever, there has been nothing happening which could have saddened me or stressed me or whatever. Then there has to be a judgment saying, you know what, this is happening for too long. Now, too long is a judgment, yes. For what? Who decides whether 6 is too long or not? But it is too long according to me because I don't normally feel sluggish for so many days in a row. And therefore, I need to do something about it. That's judgment. This is true for me, it's true for others also. For making decisions, I have to make judgments. So it is not about observation versus judgment, but it is about where is the judgment coming from. If the judgment is coming from a place of sadness, from fear, from anger, then it can be violent. If the judgment is coming from a place of something needs to change, some decision needs to be taken, but it is coming from a calm place, then this judgment will not be violent, it will be helpful. So looking at whatever is coming at you, whether from your own inner critic or from an outsider, is very, very essential to make sure that your nervous system doesn't go into a defensive mode. So according to me, there are 4 major elements that you can employ to be kind to yourself, to take care of yourself, and also take care of others, and also help others to take care of you. The first one of that is curiosity. when something is happening to you which is different from normal. For example, you are disproportionately crying. Something is paining, but there is no medical reason for it. You are feeling very stressed, and you are not finding a way out. A good place for this is ask questions. Ask questions of yourself, ask questions of others, ask open-ended, empowering questions. What do I mean by that? Ask questions which are without judgment. Ask questions where any answer will do. Ask questions which will allow you to go deeper into whatever is happening. Okay? Those questions or that curiosity will be very, very supportive. If somebody else is coming and saying, you know what, you are looking weak, you should be eating this or taking this or doing that, ask questions and say, yeah, thank you for your advice, but what makes you say that? What symptoms did you see that makes you think I'm looking weak or I'm looking unhappy? Ask questions. The second is compassion. Compassion towards yourself. It's a body, it's a living body. It's not a machine which can just get oiled and go on working. Body has to be taken care of. It needs rest. Even when you're seeing a consistent pattern which is not right, for example, say you're addicted to something, maybe you're addicted to chocolates. Yes, you need to be curious, but you also need to be compassionate. Which means, yes, you need to give up your addiction at some point, but it needs to be done with the faith that you are doing the best you can and then taking small steps and moving. That is compassion. Third is candor, and candor is being honest, very, very honest. Not saying, oh, I'm feeling a little bit lazy. Little bit lazy has no meaning. If you're lazy, you're lazy. If you want to rest, you want to rest. If something is happening to you, something is happening to you. Even if it is a dull pain in the head, even if it is because of changing weather, you have to be very, very candid, very, very clear about it. Similarly, to others, you should be able to say what you need, very, very clear, without feeling bad about it, without feeling, oh, how can I be dependent? How can I ask for help? If you need help, you need help. That's very straight, very, very clear. Whether you should need help or not is a different conversation. And the last is courage. Courage to face whatever is happening the way it is happening without either wanting to fight or wanting to run away, but to work with it. Also, courage to break your routine, courage to step out of whatever fears you are facing, courage to ask for help, courage to go to a doctor, to a psychiatrist, to a therapist, and ask for help. Courage to accept that right now, because of your own limitation, you are not able to perform to the best of your abilities and going and facing it. Even courage to accept that this is not within your control and this is not something that you can do yourself. If you follow all these four principles, then you will be able to hold boundaries. You will be able to take time off. You will be able to rest as long as you want. You will be able to tell people what is acceptable and not acceptable without getting angry about it. So you will be able to hold boundaries. And if you remember the 7 A's of healing, we are essentially talking about assertion and affirmation. Right? We are also talking about acceptance. So these are essential for us to go in any kind of healing journey, whether it is mental, physical, or even spiritual, even for wholeness. These four characteristics are needed. And if we keep this in mind, then we will be able to successfully deal with trauma. We will be able to connect to our body. We will be able to rest well. And we will be able to heal ourselves. And we will also be able to heal others. So thank you very much. Be well.